Sally Field, one of Hollywood's most beloved and resilient stars, grew up in an environment far from glamorous. Born in Pasadena, California, on November 6, 1946, she entered the world at a time when her parents' marriage was already on the rocks. Her parents divorced when Sally was just 4 years old, a traumatic event that left her searching for stability in a turbulent home. Sally's mother, Margaret Field, a working actress, was often distant, absorbed by her career. Her father, Richard Dryden Field, a World War II veteran, was authoritarian and emotionally unavailable. The absence of a father figure and the emotional distance from her mother created a fractured sense of belonging for young Sally, leaving her vulnerable and unsure of where to find love and safety. A new, darker reality: Sally's stepfather's betrayal. Sally's life took a darker turn when her mother remarried Jock Mahoney, a well-known stuntman and actor. While the public saw Mahoney as a charming, larger-than-life figure, Sally soon discovered his darker side. In her memoir, In Pieces, Sally revealed that her stepfather subjected her to intimate abuse throughout her childhood. The trauma of this violation was compounded by her mother's failure to see or intervene in the abuse. Sally, already burdened by the abandonment of her father, now faced betrayal from the person she should have been able to trust the most: her mother. The silence in her home became deafening, and Sally felt invisible in her own pain, further driving her into isolation. Acting, an escape and a lifeline. In the face of overwhelming darkness, Sally found solace in acting. It became her escape, not because she dreamed of fame, but because it offered her a brief reprieve from her painful reality. Acting allowed her to be someone else, a persona who didn't carry the weight of her past. Her passion for drama began as a way to survive, not a career choice. Through acting, Sally discovered a new way of expressing herself, finding moments of release in characters that allowed her to momentarily forget the scars of her childhood. Acting wasn't just an outlet, it became her lifeline, a chance to reclaim her voice in a world where she had been silenced. Early fame, the burden of public persona. Sally's rise to fame came at a time when Hollywood expected its stars to fit neatly into boxes. In 1965, she landed her first major role in Gig, a light-hearted sitcom about a carefree surfer girl. While the role brought her recognition and a seemingly perfect public image, it also deepened her internal struggle. She was quickly typecast as the bubbly, innocent girl next door, a far cry from the complexity of her true self. The weight of this public persona was suffocating, and by the time she starred in The Flying Nun in 1967, Sally found herself trapped in a role that felt more like a prison than a career opportunity. The sitcom, full of slapstick humour, didn't allow her to explore the depth of her talent, and it only heightened her feelings of inadequacy. Walking away, a bold move for her career. By the time Sally reached her early 20s, she was facing a crossroads in her career. While her fame was skyrocketing, she was struggling with the weight of her roles and the public's narrow expectations of her. In a brave move that stunned Hollywood, she walked away from sitcoms, refusing all offers for nearly 3 years. This decision was a gamble, especially when opportunities for young actresses were limited. Hollywood insiders laughed at her choice, believing she was throwing away her career. But Sally had something more important in mind: authenticity. She didn't want to be known as the cute girl in sitcoms. She wanted to explore the complexities of human emotion and prove that she was capable of more than just light-hearted roles. The method acting journey, confronting the past. Sally's decision to step away from the limelight led her to the world of method acting, where she trained under the guidance of Lee Strasberg at the Actors Studio. This rigorous and often painful process required her to confront the wounds of her past and bring them into her performances. Method acting wasn't easy. It forced Sally to face the traumas she had long buried, pushing her to channel her deepest emotional pain into her roles. This period of intense self-exploration nearly cost her career, but it also laid the foundation for her most powerful performances. Acting was no longer about playing a role. It was about confronting her own personal demons and transforming that pain into artistry. Breakthrough roles. Sally's triumph through pain. Sally Field's breakthrough came in 1976 with her role as Sybil, a woman suffering from dissociative identity disorder. The role demanded that she tap into the darkest corners of her soul, as she portrayed a woman with 13 distinct personalities, each born from childhood trauma. For Sally, it was not just acting, it was a cathartic experience. Each of the personalities she portrayed resonated with her own emotional scars. Her performance was raw and vulnerable, leaving audiences deeply moved. Sally won her first Emmy Award for her portrayal, but the victory was bittersweet. Her success marked a turning point in her career, but it also reminded her of the painful experiences she had worked so hard to suppress. A defining role. Norma Ray and the Academy Award. Sally's next major triumph came in 1979 with Norma Ray, a film about a Southern textile worker who fought for workers' rights in a corrupt industry. This role was more than just a job. It was a reflection of Sally's own struggle for respect and recognition. Norma Ray resonated deeply with Sally, as she brought her own experiences of pain, betrayal, and resilience to the character. Her performance was groundbreaking, and in 1980, she won her first Academy Award for Best Actress. The Oscar was a symbolic victory, not just for Sally, but for every person who had doubted her talent. It was a moment of vindication, a chance to prove that her pain could be transformed into powerful art. The personal struggles behind the fame. Despite her professional success, Sally's personal life remained complicated. Her first marriage to her high school sweetheart Stephen Craig ended in divorce in 1975, marking the beginning of her tumultuous journey through love. Her second major relationship, with actor Burt Reynolds, was equally fraught with difficulty. While the two were seen as Hollywood's golden couple, their relationship was filled with insecurity and emotional pain. Burt's dismissal of Sally's talent, particularly when she was offered Norma Ray, wounded her deeply. The relationship ultimately ended in 1982, but the emotional scars lingered. For Sally, the end of the relationship marked the end of a long cycle of seeking validation from others. A new beginning, finding stability in marriage. After the painful end of her relationship with Burt Reynolds, Sally found peace and stability in her marriage to producer Alan Greisman in 1984. This relationship offered Sally the support and understanding she had long sought. Though the scars of her past would never fully disappear, Sally had finally found a sense of calm. Together, they built a family and a life away from the pressures of Hollywood. For Sally, the journey had come full circle. She had faced her personal demons, conquered the industry's doubts, and found a love that helped heal the wounds of her past. Her story was no longer defined by her struggles, but by her strength, resilience, and the quiet victories she had achieved along the way.